never would if you fuck. Only you.
Alright, welcome back to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It's your host with the most, and that right there is the great Dexta Daps. And I told you before, is one of my favorite artists. The update at the moment, though, taking this one directly from the Star, big up to the Star straight out of Jamaica, it says that Dexta Daps is to spend another week in lockup. Boy, I'm going to tell you what some people are saying, because I have their comments right here. But let's talk about the story first. The article says, the ladies will have to do without Dexta Daps' torso-bearing post for at least another week. After his lawyer, Peter Champagne, filed a writ of habeas corpus, a hearing was called at the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court. Hear that joke, yeah? It was brought to the court's attention that Dexta, whose given name is Louis Grandison, was being detained pursuant to the state of public emergency that is in operation in the Seaview Gardens area where he was picked up. In the previous video, I said Seaview Garden, you know, say a Dexta Daps place them there. Somebody jump on my thing and say SouFLoTV just love to talk garbage. Seaview Garden is not under no state of emergency. Well, see it here, big broad and bold in the Jamaican paper, okay? And it was under the state of emergency. I even went and did my research and found the pieces of the law that pertains to Dexta Daps being held and gave you straight out of the law books exactly why they would call a state of emergency, under what conditions, and the fact that certain rights could be suspended. People are telling me about shut up my mouth, and me a go on like me no like get a youth, and human rights can never be suspended. Listen, I know me say so, you know. I'm trying to educate you on what the law says. Marcus Garvey said, you must study the laws that govern the land in which you live. And if you don't do that, then you're bound to get a beating. You understand? Once people realize that you yourself have a overstanding of the laws that govern, them kind of deal with you different. That's why enough time them call up some ghetto youth and hold them indefinitely. Man sit down for all 2-3 years. Worse, them can't afford no lawyer to come speak on their behalf like Dexta Daps can afford a top lawyer like Peter Champagne to go file a habeas corpus on his behalf. Them just fling you away in there and you're lost in the system. Right? I told you guys before, take another entertainer who's very popular now, the Six Boss himself, Squash. Squash did 5 months and change. And it was under the same conditions, state of emergency, that they held him. And one day, them just get up and say, walk out, so. No charges were filed. He wasn't, he didn't go before a judge and them say you're guilty of this or that and you have to serve this time or nothing. And it's very possible it can be done. People are telling me about it cannot be done. The law says. Yes, the law says. Okay? But that's what the law says under normal conditions. When the place is under a state of emergency, it becomes different conditions where certain rights are suspended. However, he remains detained because the arresting officers were absent from the hearing. His lawyer says that, to be fair, this was a result of the fact that the service of the writ was, in a manner of speaking, short-served because of the prolonged holiday period. You know, the whole Easter holiday period and all that. I must say, they went and they filed the habeas corpus, but people did busy at other things, and it was a holiday period and all that. So he's going to give them that benefit of the doubt. So I see the lawyers do this all the time, like they have to play nice. But an intelligent lawyer knows when to play nice, though, because really and truly on behalf of your client, you're looking for the court's favor. So it pays no one any, it does no one any good to go in there and say, hey, release my client. No, me not care if I did holiday, and right away, right? You just play nice. Tell a client, hey, Dexta, you have to go hold off a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? We promise it won't be too long because they haven't got you charged on anything. Still has not been charged, and it's been 2 weeks now he's been detained, right? And the matter was adjourned until Monday, April 20th Today is the 15th, so he will at least be there until the 20th. Grandison, which is Dexta Daps, he was taken into police custody last Wednesday by detectives from the St. Andrew South Police Division and the Major Investigations Division, following what law enforcement authorities describe as an investigation that has been ongoing for some time. In other words, what they're saying is, long time we are investigating him and his activities, and we have enough to hold him yasso. Well, I'm saying to myself, as well as I'm sure other people are saying, and his lawyer, well, if your investigation, your long investigation, it should have given you enough, right? If you don't have enough by now, then let him go. But if you have enough by now, bring those charges forward so we can go from there. But you can't just have the man sitting there and just say, it's because of state of emergency, we are holding him in here. And that's it. We understand that because of state of emergency, it gives the authorities special powers. And certain civilian rights are suspended. That no one the audience for understand. And it's under these conditions that he's being held. Yes, he's been accused, but being accused is very different from actually being formally charged. You understand? So, under these conditions, accusations are accusations. He hasn't been charged, so let go the man make him go him yard. Basically, is what the habeas corpus would say, or his lawyer would say on his behalf. Following the arrest, Peter Champagne expressed his reservations with references to what he deemed as unsettling trend, where people are detained for extended periods of time under the state of emergency. Can I pause and tell you, say I get a youth alone feel them something there. Okay? I'm not to say no more. Let me keep going. And I am neither saying that the man is innocent or guilty. I'm just saying, when you see people get picked up and locked up for however long with no charges filed against them, and then 1, 2, 3 months behind lockup, and then them just suddenly let them go out back into the streets. A lot of the times, I just get a youth face them kind of treatment there, right? So in response to that, I decided that I had some misgivings as to the sincerity of that. And I indicated that I wanted to demonstrate through the facts and legal arguments why it is that I held that view, he said. So the court, having heard what it is that I had to say, adjourned the matter for Monday, April 20th. Long story short, he went before the court and he said people are being held and he understands that it's state of emergency, blah, 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 but people are being held. I have some kind of issue with this. You know what I'm saying? Charge the people them or let them go at them yard. So he went before the courts and said that, and they adjourned until the 20th, Monday. The court, having heard that, adjourned the matter for Monday, April 20th, when full arguments will be presented and when it is that the police will be expected to be in attendance. Hopefully, the police will be in attendance Monday, the arresting police, because I guess in court they will have to say why they arrested him in specifics, why they feel the need to continue to hold him behind bars, what evidence do they have so far, because they can't just be holding him for no reason. If that's the case, they could just randomly drive around, pick up any citizen, lock you up and hold you and say, hey, a state of emergency here, you have to sit for the next 3 months till I feel like letting you out, which is unlawful. He also said that throughout all of this, my client has been consistent. He continues to state categorically that he is innocent of any wrongdoing. He is very apprehensive. He is anxious to be released from custody as he has a number of contractual obligations to complete. Now, enough people are saying, what kind of contractual obligations? Let's say the place upon lockdown. Him can't fly out, go to shows, nothing on keep nowhere, cause people can't gather in more than 10, blah, blah, blah. So Peter Champagne made it known that although we're in this lockdown phase globally, notwithstanding the fact that there are stage shows and various live shows that have been put on hold, he said, however, as you could appreciate, there are still videos to be shot. and there are still contractual agreements to be talked about. You go for a meeting, business meeting, you talk through the contract, how them want the project to go, and all these other things pursuant in the terms of business in the aftermath of this whole thing we're going right now. So basically he's saying that, hey, this is holding up money for my client, who usually is a rather busy person. Understand? Him fully booked out, and when he's not booked out, he's doing interviews and he's looking for his next shows, as far as meeting with people, signing contracts, taking his deposits, doing his rehearsals, getting ready, all kind of thing like that. So that's where it stands for right now. We will at least have to wait until the 20th to hear anything else for now, right? As far as that goes. Now, some of these comments. Self-Love Doctor says, it's imperative that we presume this man innocent until evidence, a trial, and a verdict proves otherwise. We want democracy and justice, yet assume persons are guilty of crimes without sufficient information and proof pertaining to these accusations. I am sure that no one would want a crime to be pinned on him or her because of who you hang around, etc. The justice system in Jamaica is corrupt, and I am not asking you, I am telling you based off my personal experiences. Hence, we ought not to jump to conclusions regarding Mr. Grandison's arrest. Hey, I can't help not living in fear by being an outspoken citizen who has great passion for humanitarian affairs. All the best, everyone. Take care. Now, I would only hope that in the case of Vibes Cartel, them people that hold the same meds. You understand? Because if you are one to admit that the justice system is deeply corrupted, then you must also admit then that you are dealing with a deeply corrupted justice system, and anything is possible. Charges can be trumped up and pinned on people, etc., etc. So I don't see how some of them, I know some people are going to say, him always are bringing in cartel. Yes, because I don't see how these same people can have a different view. Cartel, you know, hear the kind of things him sing about in him song. Him guilty man, him kill people man. And then the little video voice note and this and that. And when you're showing them 11 different things that point in different directions, they refuse to see it. But when their favorite entertainer is incarcerated or held, then them switch them tone to let's assume and let's presume. You know what I'm saying? Keep the same energy. You understand? 6 millennial child says he's not getting out. So start say your goodbyes from now. I promise you that. Boy, that is a grim outlook, and I hope that's not what happens. Jabelican says, another delay tactic to keep Dexta in jail. Let's see what happens next week. Forever Addiction says, kiss me teeth. The case is at 105. That's a real problem. We don't care about Daps. Bye. Well, to be very frank, this is the mindset of many Jamaicans. As long as it's not their personal family member, then they always find a million different things to care about other than what's going on, which is an emergency situation in somebody else's life. Because I'm pretty sure that Dexta Daps' parents are very, very worried right now that their son is in the position that he is in right now. I'm pretty sure Dexta himself is very worried that he is in the position he is in right now. In Jamaican, he knows how the system runs. He knows how easy it is for them to frame you or pin something upon you, extort you, do all kind of other manner of evil to you like that, and people will never hear or know about it. And how easy it is for them to demonize your character and then crucify you before the same people who used to worship you, and get those people to turn against you and start saying, a true man, a true, him the guilty. Remember say him sing Shabba Motherpot? In a Shabba Motherpot, I think him did a talk about some of murder. These same people that call themselves fans, they will turn on you in a minute, and I'm pretty sure that Dexta knows that as well. You know what I'm saying? Dan Gabbis 1 says, if you don't want to benefit your community in a positive way, you should be punished. Anyone suspected of crime against the Jamaican people should be arrested and charged. In fact, the government should have forwarded with using the terrorism bill against these people. Tired of the foolishness now. In the middle of pandemic, we know I push war. Ja. See, and it's done to people like these because, hear what I'm saying, if you don't want to benefit your community in a positive way, you should be punished. Anyone suspected of a crime against the Jamaican people should be arrested and charged. Berated. You know much politician suspected of crimes against Jamaican people and they're not charged for anything. Matter of fact, sir, hello, hi. Me know say you seem like you're smart or you tell yourself that you're very smart and your mommy used to tell you, say, baby, you're so intelligent, but you're dumb nor rotted. Because no one is supposed to be arrested and charged based on suspicion. How are you going to charge somebody with something that you suspect? You know, some things say you is a thief, so me I go charge you for thief and larceny and all these things. You know, some suspect say, so me I go charge you for what I suspect. Does that make sense to y'all? It makes no damn sense. Sadly, though, the waters have divided, and there are a lot of people who have already condemned the man, and he has not even been charged with anything. But that's how thing go. One more comment, and the comment goes like this. Up one boss, one don says, let's be real about one thing. The Jamaican police system is nothing but a lump and cow dung. Take a look. The police have the right to come pick you up, take you to jail, but it's perfectly okay for them to miss court and nothing is wrong with that, right? Yet if you on bail and miss court, then a warrant is sent out for you. Yo, why and when we are going to see that this effing system only caters for uptown life of people? Once you from the ghetto and so-called poorer classes, you no different from the thugs, the prole on the street. Look on the convoy of police that went to pick up the artist from his place of residence. And now he must spend another week in lockup, all because the officer was absent from the hearing. Then why the hell you never let the man stay until you have time to fully pursue him? Anytime people turn the planes on the system, that's when we going to see a change in how they deal with people. Don't worry, it won't be long now. And I'm going to leave it right there for y'all. All right? In other words, what this person was saying is they don't have to give accountability for anything. But you better be accountable. So it's a case of do as I say, not as I do. Remember, I told you, in this instance where the state of emergency is fully active, you must remember, say, they have been given special powers as well. Let me end this video by saying this. I wish Dexta Daps all the best. He is one of my favorite artists for sure. I've seen him perform live and tear up the place every time. And the man does live him life and I do good. You understand? As far as I know, music is the pre. I am not here to say he is guilty or innocent. He has not even been charged with anything. I'm just updating the people in my audience who care to know what the thing there right now. It's SouFLoTV, man. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and all these things. And I'll catch you on the next video. I'm out. Peace.